We are, of course, very concerned about the humanitarian situation, increased displacement, difficult to reach the people that are most exposed to this situation, as has always been the case during the Syria conflict. Our position is clear. There has to be a political agreement, a peaceful solution of these remnants of the Syria conflict so that finally people can be spared the suffering that they are inflicted, and all those that are displaced can go back to their homes. Well, through partners and in other ways, we are trying to help with the humanitarian effort, but it is difficult to reach areas of conflict. It's always difficult, especially during the Syria conflict. Once again, we hope that this will be resolved. We have seen this over and over again over the past 9 years now, almost 9 years of war. And Turkey has been, of course, a very generous host of those fleeing out of Syria to seek refuge and to seek security. But we do recognize that this burden is heavy, and we need to find a way forward to the overall conflict in Syria so that this can be resolved. The humanitarian situation will not be resolved without progress of the dialogue between states on how to find a solution. Well, I think at the moment it may be difficult for them to return if there is conflict and violence, but if that is brought to an end, of course that would be the best solution for them. Well, Libya is one of the most difficult places to work in for us, the humanitarian organizations. And there too, there is another conflict that doesn't seem to be ending. And it affects people in different ways. You have Libyan people that are displaced, maybe 300,000. Many have been displaced in the last year because of the fighting between the different groups. And then you have people from many parts of Africa, as you said, and the Middle East as well, stranded there, blocked there. They used to go there for work. Now there's not so many opportunities, so they try to go there to attempt crossing to Europe. But unfortunately, the real situation is that in Libya they are exploited, they are caught in the war, they are in dangerous situations. Once again, if there is no political solution, it will be difficult to help them. We are there, we are trying to do our best to extract some of them, to take them out of these detention centers, to assist them in more in the community. But what we can do is very small because of the insecurity. So we watched, of course, very carefully what happened in Berlin over the weekend. President Erdogan was there and all the leaders were there, and we know that the progress is slow. We hope that the international community, instead of fighting each other through factions in Libya, comes together to find a solution. Let me put it that way. First and foremost, it is threatening all the civilians in Libya, Libyans and immigrants and refugees that are stranded there. These are the people that are first and foremost affected. And then, of course, if the conflict continues, it will also continue to be a very complicated factor for stability in the region, and it will not help address in a good way migration and refugee flows.